Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if Issei trained by Ophis part 2. Before I start, please do support for more awesome content and subscribe my channel and like this video and also share this video with your friends. I have created my other videos playlist, there you can watch my all videos easily, check out as well. Let's start this video. Okay, I'm ready, Roswias says, nodding to start. Ajuka starts using his magic to remove the old rook piece from Roswias and then puts the new modified one in its place, which causes Roswias to twitch with being introduced to a more potent powerful piece. As Roswias relaxes, she steadies herself before pricking her finger to let a bit of blood go onto the king piece to create her evil pieces and watching them glow with her magic. Wow, you managed to hit the jackpot here, Roswias. You managed to get 3 mutated pieces which are 2 ex-bishops and queen pieces which are rare to achieve, Ajuka says with the biggest smile at what he has seen. Well, guess I will be hunting for potential members soon then, but I hope Gasper and Kiba will join me and help as I know I do my best to train them to the best of their quality, Roswias says. Well, good luck with that, Roswias. If there are any problems, let me know. As for now, it's time to get back to my duties and do more work for the upcoming raiding game competition, Ajuka says as he prepares his magic circle. No, thank you, Ajuka, and let you know if anything turns up, Roswias says as she disappears into her magic circle. Back to Issei. As Issei exits from the time field at Ophis, after training not only in his aura but other aspects, he also finds out that his aura is creation, due to having a mix of both Great Red and Ophis and destruction, due to absorbing the magic from the evil pieces. Well, we are back and have funny access to my aura now and understand it better, so now what to do now, Hudrag, Issei asks his partner after relaxing. Yes, partner, to have the ability of creation and destruction is suitable for you as it's like yin and yang as they say, Drake says proudly to his friend brother as he thinks of it. Haha, it does, don't it, but with my creation, magic is using part of Great Red's powers due to him the dragon of dreams and illusions, whilst the destruction is a form of not only the evil pieces I absorbed, but also fused with powers from Ophis Infinite, which is surprising in such way Issei explains to his partner. Indeed partner, and also mixing mine and Albion's power into the mix, you're certainly a dragon not to take lightly no more, Drake says with so much pride you can imagine him smirking smugly. Well, you are my partner and brother, so I have to represent you in a better way than I did, but anyways I think it's time to head back home and get a bath and a haircut since my hair is long, Issei says as he smells an odor coming from himself. Well, not surprised with how long you trained in that time space, also partner, try and not let anyone know about your dragon powers just yet, as we don't know what has gone off since you disappeared from the scene, Drake says in his concern. True, I don't want to end up being used again. I also hope to see whoever cares about me and not talk about Motohama or Mitsuda, as I think they were just using me as a scapegoat, Issei says as he ponders about that. Well, that's new, never thought you would say that about your perverted friends, Drake says, shocked by what he heard. Well, I got to grow up sometime, and seeing how things ended up with me, it's time to reshape my imaging. I am also going to apologize to all the girls I hurt by doing them things, Issei says as he looks proud of what he's doing. Very noble of you, partner. I never thought to hear that, Drake says bit surprised. I know I'm just as shocked saying it, hahaha, Issei says as he laughs it off. Well, time to get going and see what changed. With that, Issei creates his teleport circle to notice how much it changed and smirks at the same time, knowing it's his own with a combination of Drake's Dragon Gate and his own with black mixed in. With that, he disappears to make his way to his home in Kuo. Back in Kuo, as the student council and Roswias left Kuo Academy to head to the Hyodo residence as all of Ria's peerage had been vacated apart from Roswias due to becoming a high devil herself and now looking for her peerage, they all felt a strong presence enter Kuo and was nearer at the Hyodo residence, they all panicked and hurried to find out who it was. Quick, we need to find out who that power belongs to and hope they are not attacking the Hyodo residence as we promised to say to protect his parents, Sona orders her peerage. Right. Shouted everyone as they moved with haste to the location. As they all got to the door and opened it, they were shocked to see the one person they didn't expect to see waving at them like he never had. As they saw this, they all tackled him in an unexpected hug. Issei. They all shouted and hugged, tackling him to the ground. Oof, ouch, hey guys, easy on the tackle, haha, how's everyone been, and also I like to thank you guys for looking after my parents while I was gone, Issei says as he laughs on the floor after being tackled. Also, I never thought I would get a hug from you guys, so want to inform me what's happened since I've been away training. Well, Issei, everyone missed you, especially me. I know we never got to know each other personally as certain people. Still, I knew how caring you are, for things you missed not much apart from the orc members being evicted from this, Howland territory and waiting for judgment. Roswias becomes a high devil and receives her pieces, Sona says as she pushes her glasses up to her nose. Wow, a lot happened then, and congrats, Roswias. I knew you would become a king easily with your knowledge, so how come all the student council here, or was it because you felt a strange aura? Issei asks out of curiosity while assembling with others. Well, we were ordered to move into the residence as extra security for your family while you were training and other things, Sona explains as she nods in understanding. Well, I'm thankful for that, so I let you guys get relaxed and then can ask me questions if you like afterwards, Issei says as he smiles. As everyone left their rooms to get changed, Roswies was the only one left behind who was twiddling her fingers as she was preparing to ask Issei something that could backfire on her due to what had happened. "Ah no, Issei, I'm delighted with your back and thank you for congratulating me, but can I ask you something before I get changed?" Roswies asks with hope. "You're welcome, Roswies, and sure, I will be happy to listen," Issei says as he smiles at her. "Well, I know others have hurt you badly, but I always wanted to tell you something which I tried to have the courage to ask you, and I will understand if you turn me down, but here goes, Issei. I like you a lot, and I wondered if we could possibly go out with each other as boyfriend and girlfriend." Roswies says, now closing her eyes, waiting for rejection. "Wow, Roswies, I will be honored, but could we take it slow at first? As you know, I will be happy to have you as a girlfriend as I also like you a lot, but found it hard to ask due to all the fights that were going off, as you know," Issei says, happy and also shocked. "Seriously, I'm so happy. Thank you, Issei, and by the way, please call me Rose, and I understand about going slow," Roswies says, excited and jumping about. Okay, Rose, please take care of me also. If you need any help with anything, let me know," Issei says as he hugs her. "Yes, and please take care of me as well. I'm going to get changed, so I will see you in and can have a good talk about your training," Roswies says as she returns the hug before going upstairs. "Well, that went good, don't you think, partner?" Drake says as he smirks. "Indeed, my partner was also shocked about Roswies asking me out, but I'm also glad that maybe we can make her something with my creative powers sometimes as a gift," Issei thinks while answering Drake. "Yes, maybe learn more about her and ask her to give you ideas maybe, but also something to help her boost her powers, maybe," Drake says while thinking. "Oh yeah, maybe I can get some ideas from some games that I got," Issei thinks as he ponders. "Please don't make anything stupid like you would when back in the day," Drake says as he deadpans in fear. "I won't. I'm not the same person as before." Wonder if any of the girls like to give me a haircut for a new look, maybe," Issei says to his partner. As Issei was talking to Drake in his head, all the girls managed to meet up before heading downstairs to ask what he's been doing and why Roswies was so happy as she was all giddy. "Okay, spill it, Roswies. I have never seen you this giddy before," Tsubaki asks a bit curious too about what happened. "Well, I finally managed to confess my feelings, and Issei accepted them even though asked to take it slow, which I can understand," Roswies says while blushing and fidgeting. "Whoa, that's very bold of you, but I'm glad you finally confessed," Momo said as she giggled through it, knowing how shy Roswies was. "Indeed, but now I'm curious what kind of training Issei went through and hopefully can help me with an idea or two," Sona says in her usual calm, stoic tone. "Thanks, girls, and yeah, I'm also curious about his training also. He needs to catch up on his schoolwork since he's been away," Roswies says as she goes into her teacher mode at the end. As the girls made their way to the stairs, they could hear Issei singing a song which shocked the group as they had never heard him sing before. They just stopped at the top of the stairs listening to him and admiring his voice. Even Sona was shocked at the development and stunned at how well he could sing. "An. Listen to Mori Kaliap make him afraid to find out the song of choice, as writing the lyrics won't do justice at this point." As Issei finished singing, he shouted to the girls they can come down now, laughing his head off. "You can come down now, by the way, Issei says as he giggles. "How was my singing caused by the looks of your reactions, you never heard me sing before. I never knew you could sing like that," Sona said, trying to process this. "You sounded awesome," Momo says, surprised by this but happy. Thanks, girls. Karaoke works a treat, I guess," Issei says while rubbing the back of his head. "So I'm guessing you like to know what I've been up to since I was gone. Please, I know you said training, but by the looks of it, looks more than that." Sona asked while everyone nodded their heads in agreement. "Well, was mainly basic training first, getting used to my dragon body and senses, then worked with my boosted gear to point it mastered as such, then I learned some bits from Ophis to fill me in on knowledge I lacked, then I worked on other bits," and Bob's Issei explained what he has been up to. "Wow, that's a lot. How did you manage to get all that done? It would have taken some people months or years to achieve that." Roswies asked out of curiosity. "Good question, Rose. Ophis managed to put a time barrier up for me, so I was able to train that much within a short time and did wonders, I must say," Issei said as he smiled. Just as Issei was explaining what he's been doing, a magic circle appeared, and out came Grafia, Benelana, Ajuka with Kiba and Gasper. Soon after they saw Issei, they were shocked at his new appearance, and even Grafia and Benelana had slight blush come to their cheeks. Ah, Lord Ajuka, Lady Gremory and Grafia Nisan, nice to see you and also nice to see you as well, Kiba and Gasper, Issei says as he bows in respect. If nice to see you're back, Issei, and to look stronger than ever, Benelana says in a naughty mood. Ice, did you just call me Nisan? Grafia asked with an aura coming from her, making Issei sweat bullets. Yes, I thought you would like it, honestly, Issei says, still sweating bullets. Grafia disappears in front of Issei, which causes him to panic. Then Grafia suddenly brings him into a big hug, squeezing him to death as being happy. Oh, I'm happy you said that. Now I got someone to spoil and tell off when done wrong, Grafia says, still squeezing Issei to death. Nisan can't breathe. Please let me go, Issei says as he struggles to breathe from the crushing hug. Grafia suddenly lets go and apologizes for going overboard with the hugging. Sorry, Issei, I got too excited. It's okay, Nisan, so what with the sudden coming over? Issei asks, looking at Ajuka and Lady Gremory. Well, I'm here to help trade the pieces of Kiba and Gasper here into Roswa's peerage, and also make sure they move in for extra protection for your parents when they are here, Ajuka says as he explains. Ah, cool, I'm glad you are helping Roswa's guys, and remember you are still part of the Gremory family, even if under a different master, Issei says with a big smile. We won't disappoint you, Issei, as you like our brother, and will always support the family as a noble knight, Kiba says as he smiles back. Exactly what Kiba said, big brother Issei, Gasper says while smiling. Well, not going to make you guys wait any longer, so you're up, Roswies, Issei says while kissing her on the cheek when she walks past. As Issei left Roswis with Kiba and Gasper to sort into her peerage, Issei asked Grafia, Benelana, and Ajuka to a private room so they could discuss something that needed to be said. So I'd like to thank you guys following me here to talk privately as I need bits filling in from when I have been gone, but also want to fill you in some stuff as well, Issei says in a way that looks like a leader. Ice-kun, it's no problem at all, and nothing much needs to be said from mine, and Grafia's side is much apart from Ria's, and the rest of Orc, including Arena, are currently in cells waiting for their trial by leaders of pillars, Benelana says with a slight blush. Apart from giving Roswis her pieces, there's not much to say on our front apart from an international rating game that we will host soon, Ajuka says, curious about what Issei is going with this. That's cool. I'm guessing it's international means anyone can join. When is the trial? I might want to attend, but will I see their excuse? That can be arranged, but when were you thinking of going to another dimension? Benelana asks out of curiosity. Well, maybe after the trial and also help with some training for the others for the time being. Also, I made something that could use your help with, if possible, Lord Ajuka, Issei asked. Oh, what can I help you with, Issei? Call me Ajuka. No need for formalities. We are friends and allies, aren't we, Ajuka says with a big smile. Okay, Ajuka, well, I am hoping to create a reincarnation system similar to evil pieces for dragons, but also trying to figure out a way without the downside effects from what evil pieces sometimes do, Issei says as he explains while smiling. Well, I will be happy to help in that area, but have you got something that can be used as a piece? The crystal I use for the pieces is limited and has more devil power than anything, Ajuka said while thinking. Well, I'm hoping I will find something along that line when I explore this other dimension. If not, Drake might know something which could work, but we'll come to that if all fails, Issei says as Ajuka is now showing stars in his eyes for such an idea. Issei, if you find such a thing, can you let me do some tests on it? Ajuka says, now excited. Well, if I find such a thing, then sure, but if it's what Drake has, I doubt he would agree as it's a very rare item that should not be played with, apparently, Issei explains while nodding. So what are you going to do now, Issei? Asked Benelana out of curiosity. Well, going to see if Sona wants any help and some training ideas, then also might take Roswis out for a date before I go to the other dimension after that, I dunno, Issei says while rubbing the back of his head. Oh, Sona would probably like that as she's been struggling for some of her members to up their power respectively, Benelana says, while in a thinking pose. Well, I will be happy to help out in any way I can if there's something I can help with, of course, Issei says. Is there anything else needed to discuss while we are all here? If not, we should part ways to get things sorted out and ready, Ajuka says in his mode. Nothing to my end. Just let me know when the trial is on so I can see what's going to go off, Issei says as he gets up and bows to them all. Everyone stood up and got ready to leave after saying goodbyes. Benelana and Grafia give Issei bone-crushing hugs before disappearing through their magic circle. Now we see Issei making his way to find Sona and asking if she would like help training her peerage. As he entered the hallway, she used his senses to locate where Sona was, but when he saw Momo coming and looked down, Issei wanted to cheer her up. "Hey, Momo-san, are you okay?" Issei asked with concern. "Oh, hi Issei-san, I'm okay, just thinking about something," Momo says with a fake smile. Momo-san, don't lie. I can tell you're sad about something. I will happily listen and cheer you up. Are you sure, Issei-san, as I know you're not yourself?" Momo asks, a bit worried herself. "It's fine, honestly. Never know. We could probably cheer each other up," Issei says as he smiles at her. "Okay, well, lately, Saji has not been paying attention to Haruka or me, and it feels like he's moving away from us and isn't saying anything like what he's doing and so forth," Momo says while sniffling. Do you girls sleep with him or anything?" Issei asks out of curiosity. "Couple of times," Momo says, embarrassed. "Well, best bet to find out the truth if Saji doesn't say anything is to try and ask Vritra here, probably. I'll write down how to connect to him. Just tell him Issei and Drake sent you as you're worried about something and want to know the truth," Issei says as he writes down the method to connect to the dragon. "Thank you, Issei, this means a lot," Momo says as she cheers up a bit. "Hey, what are friends for? But if the worst is true, I'm here for you to vent to, okay," Issei says to reassure her. "Okay, thank you again," Momo says as she kisses Issei on the cheek as a thank you, then disappears. "Well, that was interesting, partner," Drake says smugly. "Shut up. You are only trying to be a good friend. Let's go find Sona," Issei says as he looks for Sona. Back to Riaz and the rest of the peerage. "Riaz, do you think they found out that we betrayed Issei behind his back?" Akeno asks, worried about what will happen to them. "Doubt it, but then again, Kiba and Gasper have not returned and I don't feel they're linked to me anymore," Riaz says, now worried. "Not good, and without Surziches and Serafil here, we might be in trouble," Akeno says while thinking of ways to cheer Riaz up. "One-sama, will everything be okay?" asked a worried Asya, confused about what was going on. "I don't know, to be honest, Asya. I think we have been caught and about to face punishment for what we did," Riaz said, telling the truth to the others. "Wait, that means we might be in big trouble. Oh no, what have I done? Please forgive this angel for falling in love with another," Irina says, but when she gets her wings out notices something odd as it feels like her card is being judged. I've also lost connection to Durandal, like it's rejecting me. I guess we messed up big time," Zenobia says as she slams down to the floor with a defeated look. "Well, I guess you all finally figured out what you've done," a familiar voice said. "Razor, what are you doing here?" Riaz asked out of curiosity. "Well, come to let you know that thanks to your misdeeds, Ravel has now been removed from Kuo and is now in confinement until further notice, waiting for her judgment from mother and father," Razor says with a bit of anger. "What? So that means we are in serious trouble," Riaz said, who has now gone white. "Issei did me a favor instead of saving you from me. He saved me from you. I feel sorry for him and hope I can still talk to him. So why are you down here just to gloat?" Riaz said, a bit pissed at the attitude of Razor. "No, came to inform you that your trial is starting in the morning and everyone that's still here is coming to judge you on all your actions against the pillar," Razor says as he leaves to let them sink into the floor. Back to the Hyodo residence. As Issei finished talking to Momo and hoped to cheer her up a bit, he carried on to look for Sona and see if she wanted help with training or to talk about what he's been up to. As he walked down the stairs, he met Tsubaki, who looked like she was in her world. "Hey, Tsubaki-senpai," Issei says as he sees her. "Oh hey, Issei-kun, hope you're well," Tsubaki said. "Doing good, thank you, you looked lost in thought. Is it because you can still hang out with Kiba-san?" Issei says with a teasing smile. I don't know what you're on about," Tsubaki says while going red in the cheeks. Sorry, couldn't help but tease you there," Issei says as he chuckles but begs forgiveness as Tsubaki playfully hits him. HMPH, I'll forgive you this time, but apart from that, yes, I am happy to be able to carry on hanging out with Kiba on days off," Tsubaki says, still red to the cheeks. "That's good to hear. Has he let you try his homemade cheesecakes yet?" "They are delicious," Issei says as he starts to drool while thinking about it. "Yes, I have. They are delicious, especially the lemon one," Tsubaki says while imagining a piece of lemon cheesecake. "I agree with you on that, as it's sweet but not too sweet at the same time," Issei said, happy to have similar tastes. "Do you know where Sona-senpai is?" "Oh, she's downstairs on the sofa looking at some information for school," Tsubaki says, confused. "Ah, thank you, if you are wondering why I'm looking for her, it's because I just wanted to catch up," Issei says to help Tsubaki understand. "I see. Well, I'll take you to her then. I'm sure she has a lot of questions to ask, especially how you feel as you know. We were all shocked when we heard about what happened and sorry you had to go through that, especially after all you did for them time and time again," Tsubaki says out of her heart with a small smile. Thanks, Tsubaki-senpai, that means a lot, and I'm glad Kiba has a lucky girl like you, as you always know what to say to cheer someone up, even if they are not in the same peerage, Issei said as he gave a smile back to her. DT thanks, Tsubaki says as she blushes, then turns around to go back downstairs. Issei then follows Tsubaki down the stairs to the living room, where Sona sits with a cup of tea and a lot of paperwork scattered about, looking like she is organizing something. This piqued Issei's interest as she wanted to know more about what she does as king for her peerage. Sona was more straightforward than Ria's, which was sometimes confusing as she was more distracted by other things. Sona-sama, Issei is here, Tsubaki says to alert her friend and king. As Sona looks up with a small smile. Ah, thank you Tsubaki. Issei, sit with me. We have a lot to talk about to fill you in. Ah, please, that'd be great. Plus, if you need any help with anything, let me know, as I'll try and help in any way, Issei says as he sits down next to Sona. That means a lot. Thank you Issei. So what would you like to know? Sona asks while looking at Issei. Well, how are things progressing with the repair of the school in the underworld? Issei asks out of curiosity. Well, to be honest, it's slow but getting there, which is understandable due to what happened. I was checking the progress through the paperwork I just got, Sona says with a smile. Oh, that's good to hear, then. By the way, when school is finished, is there a possibility that I can help in any way? Issei asks out of curiosity, leaving both Sona and Tsubaki stunned by his question. Well, it depends on what you want to teach to be honest. Even though I am happy, you asked but also shocked as I didn't know you would want to teach. Sona says, confused but happy nonetheless. Well, I'm full of surprises, to be fair, and if I was going to teach maybe more about the different kinds of sacred gears and also help people make contracts with the possibility of making artificial sacred gears, like what Azazel did for your peerage, Issei answered honestly, but also surprised her with that answer. Wow, I didn't know you were into making things. Also, why are you so interested in sacred gears as a whole? Sona asks, now curious. That's easy, considering there are plenty of sacred gears, even some duplicates, even though they are mostly low class, but still have a possibility of helping if taught the right way. The higher class like the Longinus have a chance to evolve in such a way as you noticed with Dragon or Balance Breaker forms, Issei says as he explains. Okay, now that shocked me as I never really thought about it that way. You amaze me, Issei, by teaching me something I never really looked into myself, Sona says with a devious smirk. That look you're giving me tells me you want an example, maybe testing that theory. Issei said nonchalantly. Of course, what you said got me interested, so if that's okay, would you like to help and show me? Sona asks while doing a puppy eye look. I thought as much, and sure I know it won't work straight away, but if they practice, they might be able to achieve something and unlock some potential or even more, Issei says as he replies to Sona. Right, we'll try it a bit later on. I know Saji won't be able to join us due to looking after his brother and sister, but others will be here at least, Sona says as she looks happy. That's fine, so I'll meet you in training room 2 in an hour. Issei asks as he gets up. Okay, see you down there, Issei, Sona said as Issei left, but left a smile on her face. You truly messed up, Riaz. Issei is so thoughtful and more intelligent than he acts. I wonder what he is like in a game of chess, Sona thought. Training room 2. As Issei made his way into the center of the training room to get it ready for some training for whoever came down with Sona, a magic circle appeared, and Riser came out of it and waved to Issei as he walked to join him. Hey Issei, getting ready for some training, I see, Riser says as he stops near him. Hey Razor, yeah, going to help Sona and her peerage with some bits. What brings you here? Issei asks out of curiosity. To talk to you about something, if that's okay. Riser asks. Sure, ask away, my friend, Issei says as he smiles at Riser. Well, I know what happened between you and the girls, and I want to apologize for what Ravel has done, and hope there's a way to forgive her to a certain extent, Riser asks, hoping not to upset him. Well, I'm guessing Lord and Lady Phoenix have punished her to an extent, plus knowing Ravel, she must have been led to the action she did, so I'll forgive her in time, but won't forget if that makes sense, Issei said with a look of understanding. Ah, thank you Issei. I'll do anything to make up for it. As for her punishment, she's basically been put back in my peerage and has fewer privileges now due to her rank being stripped of her as her punishment, Riser said with a look of sadness. That's understandable. Tell you what, if she asks for forgiveness, she needs to work hard for you. Start training your body in magic, but also do something to bring money into the household. No sweets related, so a cafe and peerages help you run it. Thanks Issei. I will tell her that. Also, have you heard about the international rating game they are setting up? Riser asks curiously what he will say. Yeah, Lord Ajuka mentioned it, so when I go off to train, I might see if I can bring back some new team members, Issei says with excitement. Well, when it's finalized, hopefully, we can maybe get a chance to face each other in it, as I love to see how far you come without them with you, Riser says with a smirk. Haha, we have to wait and see now, won't we? So make sure you train hard then, Issei says as he fist bumps Riser. You know I will take care, Issei, and thanks again, Riser says before disappearing through a magic circle. As Riser disappears, Sona comes down with her peerage, minus Saji, due to him looking after his sister and brother, due to not having any parents alive, which makes Issei respect him so much to do stuff like that. Hey ladies, sorry for taking your time, since Sona asked me to help out with training for you, but what I'm going to do is not fighting related as of yet, but to help bring out more potential with sensing to your sacred gears, and for Sona her aura, Issei said as he explains while looking at them. Okay, what have you got planned for us? Sona asks, now curious. Quite simple, as you may be surprised, it's pretty much meditating so you can sync yourself with your aura or sacred gears. If I remember correctly, some of you got contracted gears, which Tsubasa has with Fairy. So you plan to try and talk to the fairy and hopefully learn about her, and maybe gain some new skills with what elements she controls. As for you, Sona, if you sync with your aura, you should be able to use your magic more efficiently and can use less of it to make such moves, Issei said as he replied to her, making everyone wide-eyed. Makes sense, so what else would we need to do after we do this? Tsubaki asks, now curious as she wants to know what it does for her sacred gear. Well, it will take some of you fair few times to use it fully, but if you do it every so often, even if for an hour, you will gain more control, and even be able to achieve a mind space to train such skills with your spirits of the sacred gears, and in doing so, should be able to utilize your pieces as well like I did with mine, and evolving the gear to the pieces itself, which also should work with Baruko-san and Saji-san have put the time into it. As your sacred gear Tsubaki-san, if you can connect with your gear spirit, you should be able to make more mirrors not just to counter a move, but also have the possibility of absorbing and gaining the ability to use the skill yourself, Issei said with a smirk, which made Tsubaki and Sona wide-eyed in shock again by this idea. I never thought it was possible to do that with the sacred gears, Sona said, now thinking about what else they could do. Of course, as I said, most sacred gears will have some form of spirits in them, it's just able to look for it, and there are always possibilities to evolve them with the constant training to achieve it, even mastering your nasty piece to a degree will also help. You are more useful for your gear. For example, Momo-san's gear can help create barriers within a radius, so if she manages to work more on her magic reserves, she also should be able to make barriers even further, and even be able to do multiple at once, Issei said, now giving her more ideas. I see. So if Haruko and Saji can have more use for their piece as they can promote, they should also be able to make a subspecies to their gear to relate to it. Sona asked for confirmation. Pretty much like it, Saji-san can use his bishop piece more. He should be able to use the absorb line, and his flames are a lot stronger due to the bishop's power being enhanced to a degree, and he could, if it was me, make a skill that uses Vritra's power as a combined skill as Issei says. So if you want, split up times for meditating training and get more users to your evil piece, but also make sure to do plenty of physical training, as it helps out a lot more than you think. Okay, Issei, since it's late tonight, we do of the meditation you suggested. Then tomorrow, Tsubaki and I will sort a timetable out, but also fill Saji in on what you mentioned, Sona says, smiling. Okay, if you need more help with ideas or even simple spars, let me know, so I'll bid you, ladies. Good night. I'm a bit tired, so I'm going to take a nap, Issei says as he stretches his arms. Night, Issei-san, everyone said with smiles. Back to Ria's and others. As Riser left, all the girls knew they would be judged and won't see the outcome, which caused a few fights between them, and they also started to fear the past returning. Great, now what, shouted Irina in frustration. Nothing we can do. We got caught, and now we will be judged, probably with a slapped wrist at most, Ria said, still hopeful. You know I shouldn't have listened to you. Now I will probably be made a fallen angel or something, Irina shouts angrily. Not our fault you decided to listen to the words of devil. Zenobia perks up. Zenobia, you, of all people, should know how much I have faith in the Lord, Irina says now with a hurt look with her friend. Girls, come on, calm down if we pray. The Lord might give us the answers, Asya said, hoping her friends would calm down. Shut up, you witch. You, of all people, also betrayed your first friend, and now we are all going to be punished, Irina shouted at her. Hey, don't say that to Asya, you proclaimed angel, or should I say ex-angel, Zenobia said, trying to defend Asya. Ara, it's a good thing you are not in the same cell as you all would get some punishment for your behavior, Akeno says as she looks at everyone with a thirsty look while licking her lips. Akeno, do you have to do that? You'll give Asya nightmares, considering how Rainer did something similar to her, Ria said, not realizing what she had just said. Asiya was picturing Akeno with Reiner and overlapping their images, so now she was scared of Akeno as all she could see was Reiner. Akeno was trying to calm Asiya down, saying she wasn't Reiner, but in doing so, made it worse, and now she was looking at Riaz with an angry look due to it. Why did you have to say that, Riaz? Now Asiya is panicking and isn't looking at me, Akeno shouted at her best friend. What? Riaz said while tilting her head, acting dumb. As the arguments and insults were being shouted, they were interrupted by a new presence that made them know something terrible was happening and was coming soon. Wow, I never thought I would hear some disturbing things being said by your friends, said a beautiful blonde girl at the entrance. DG Gabriel-sama, what are you doing here? Asked a worried Irina. Well, I've come to collect you, Irina, to take you back to heaven to be trialed, and both your parents will be there as well, Gabriel said with a disappointed look. Hey! Shouted Irina, knowing she was in big trouble. Ah no, Gabriel-san, do you know what's going to happen to us? Asked Akeno. Well, you will all be tried separately. I know your father will be there, Akeno-san, and he didn't look happy. Gabriel said as she looked at her. Anyways, I'm taking Irina to see you, ladies. Soon Gabriel left with Irina, and the whole group was now shaking cause they were not going together to the trial, but separately, which meant they couldn't cover for each other. We screwed, everyone thought when Gabriel said those words. While this was happening, Grafia and Venelana were nearby, hearing all the commotion, and now knew they did the right thing in doing a separate case on all of them, which made it harder for them to stand up for each other. It's nearly time to let Issei know that their trial is starting soon, and probably enjoy seeing them trialed separately, Grafia says as she looks at Venelana. Agreed, I'm still upset about how my daughter did this, I guess we all spoiled her too much, and it got to her head, Venelana says as she looks down in regret. It's all our fault, Venelana-sama. It's just sad that she did it to such a loyal and honorable person, Grafia says as both walk to the lounge. I wonder what Serziches would do if he saw all this happening, Venelana says while pondering. Knowing him, he would be gutted and blame himself, but also be very disappointed with her, at the same time struggling with what to do as he has to be a leader first and brother second, Grafia says, knowing how he would react if he were here. Time skip trial day. As Issei woke up, he checked the time to see it was 4:30 am. Hence, he got out of bed, took a shower, and dressed. After that, he made his way downstairs to the kitchen to start prepping breakfast and lunches for everyone, as most of them still got school, so he thought it to be friendly and make everyone something, as he never got to show anyone his cooking talents, so he knows the girls were going to be shocked much to his delight. After a while, everything was ready. Issei managed to make a lot of food for bentos, and even did one for Saji with a note inside to explain the training idea to help further along his sacred gear, and he hopes to catch up with him soon. Suddenly Issei can hear movement coming down the stairs, which was Rasui's followed by Sona and Tsubaki. Morning, ladies. I hope you're hungry, Issei said as he smiled. Morning, Issei-san Hyodo-san, they said simultaneously. I made everyone breakfast, also homemade bentos for everyone, Issei said, still smiling as he served breakfast to the three ladies. Thank you, looks good, and I never knew you could cook. All three said while laughing afterwards as they all thought the same. I'm full of surprises, to be honest, and the only reason you didn't know Rose is because every time the others used to do it, so I never got a chance to show off, Issei said as he shrugged. I see that makes sense, but I must admit your food is delicious. Who taught you to cook like this? Rasuis asked out of curiosity while Sona and Tsubaki looked as well, wanting to know. Well, basic cooking was what my mom taught me, but after that, everything else was just me. I love cooking, so I used to do it in my spare time, and learned a lot from watching videos as well for advice, Issei said while scratching his cheek. Wow, I might have to get you to teach me some in the future. By the way, Issei, you, I, and Tsubaki will be coming with you to the trial later on. Sona said while enjoying the breakfast meal. Oh, I didn't know it would be today. Need to make something before the trial starts and hopefully be able to talk to the council or whoever is judging before the whole thing starts, Issei says as he thinks. How come? Sona asked while looking intrigued. Well, I was thinking to solidify if they are lying as they could probably try and weasel their way out. Plus, if I'm hiding from them in plain sight, why not join them as judges? But it also gives me an idea of asking certain questions to see if they cared about me at all, or just used me as a tool because of me having Drake with me, Issei said as he looked at Sona. Interesting. It would help a little since Ajuka is the only Mao left, and having to face the rest of the council on his own must be tiring to a point, Sona says as she nods to Issei's answer. Yeah, also, that reminds me, Rose, could you maybe be able to bring my work and help cover me when I'm away later when I go to another world, Issei asked Rasuis with a smile. That won't be a problem at all, Ice. I'll tell them that you volunteered to do extra work with someone at Kyoto about its history, etc., Rasuis says with a smile of her own. Ah, sounds like a plan, as Kyoto is part of the occult in a way with all the priests and shrines there, Issei says as he nods his head in agreement. Well, I'm going to head upstairs to get ready and work on the gadget. Just let me know when we head out, but maybe you could ask Grafia if I can talk to everyone before they bring them in if possible. No worries, Issei, I will talk to Grafia after I give the rest of the peerage what they need to do, Sona says as she watches Issei disappear upstairs. Well, that's me finished, and time to head to school so that I will see you around, Sona and Tsubaki, Roswia said as she got up to leave. You too, Roswis. I will let you know how the trial goes if you don't hear from Issei before we get back, Sona says as she sees Roswis wave by and smile. Tsubaki, could you please check on the others and tell them to hurry up before their breakfast gets cold, and tell them Issei made them all bentos too. While you do that, I'll call Grafia about what Issei asked about, Sona said to her queen and best friend. I will do, Sona-sama, Tsubaki says as she gets up and leaves to get the other student council peerage members. As Tsubaki left, Sona contacted Grafia to let her know what Issei said and wanted to do, also mentioning about making something for the trial to help out further in case they tried to lie without being detected, saying this made Grafia curious and how he was going to achieve that, but just rolled with it, knowing it's how her little brother was like, always managing to make the impossible possible. This makes her smirk, knowing what those girls have no chance, but also even more curious about asking the members of Orc specific questions. Afterwards, she told Sona that she would contact Ijuka to let him know, and the chosen council members also said to them that Ijuka would come to fetch them, which Sona understood and ended the call with her. Thanks for watching this video. Part 2 is over. If you really enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. And also check out the playlist that I have created and enjoy. Link is in the description. See you in the next video. Goodbye.